In the year of Lucius Licinius Lucullus, Rome was prosecuting several wars of self-defense, most notably in Greece, where Lucullus himself was commanding the legions. With everyone's gaze directed at the provinces, few could have known that a seemingly inauspicious event in Rome would become the central fulcrum around which the fate of the Republic would turn. The paterfamilias of a venerable patrician house had passed away unexpectedly, and a senator by the name of Vitellius Scaevola had made a bid for the hand of his eldest child. His widow alone believed that Scaevola had poisoned her husband and now strove to take his place and claim his property through marriage. Acting in secret, the widow arranged for her youngest child to be taken out of their villa in the dead of night and smuggled out of Rome.
Did you hear me, Domina? Your body is surely present, but your mind seems somewhere else. It soothes the soul, doesn't it? I had come to think that this sea was so blue in my memories, only because I was young the last time I saw it. But I remembered right. I asked the Triarchus how close we are to Lesbos, but he would not give me a straight answer. Indeed. In his defense, there are many islands on this sea, and they mostly look the same. Will you check with the Triarchus? Hopefully he will give you a clearer answer. He told me his name is Geminus. If nothing else, you do have a way of making unreasonable people see reason. You should also go and thank Quintus Aquilinus. I do believe he saved our lives with his timely appearance at the villa. Thank you for bringing me along. It will be wonderful to see my homeland again.
You found your sea legs quickly, Domina.
You handle the sea better than most. I'm glad. The timing was fortunate, but there is no need to thank me. The consul sent me to get you. Please, call me Kaiser, if it's not too familiar. With all due respect, I'd better not. Ah, she did not keep you apprised. Your mother has secretly been making arrangements with the consul. You will, of course, not participate in the war in any capacity. You are a woman. That is completely out of the question. One word of advice. I know Lucullus is a friend of your family, but remember, he is the consul, elected by the people to rule all of Rome. It's best if you don't act too familiar with him in front of his men. For many years I was the primus pillis of Legio Prima Italica, which he commands. He needed someone he could trust to get you out of Rome and keep you safe. That position has already been filled by one of my centuriones. A good man, easily up to the task. My job now is to watch your back and help you settle into your new life. Don't be. I serve the consul, and he has well earned my loyalty. I had a brief talk with that gladiator who boarded before us, just to make sure he won't give us any trouble. He seems to have vanished, though. The young man over there, Gaius, is apparently the nephew of the other consul, Marcus Aurelius Cotta. He's here to become a tribunus, a mostly ornamental position intended for young patricians to learn about military affairs.
Solway. It is a pleasure. I am Gaius Julius Caesar. Not at all. But keep in mind, I'm not the most experienced soldier either. If you don't play an important part, you will be torn apart. My father used to say. I guess that was his way of telling me to be brave and hopefully not stupid. That's a long story, my friend. Suffice to say, the powers that be are not fond of me. I have decided that staying in Rome could be, shall we say, hazardous to my health.
I heard she's running from a senator who wants her dead.
Shh! Keep your voice down.
What is he looking for?
He's been like this all morning.
What? Yes, Geminus. So, I'm a little preoccupied. You're right. The rowers are getting tired. We should let them rest soon, but that will cause even more delay. Wait. That ship. They're headed straight towards us. They're gonna ram.
Get your father's weapons. Let's see if you're as formidable a woman as Lucullus said.
I'm fine, Centurio.
Form up! Let's get these pirates off our ship!
deadly with that thing. I've lived other lives before this one.
Where's that gladiator who boarded with us?
Up there!
Never underestimate the value of an impressive entrance. This is all too easy.
If I were 20 years younger.
One remains. This was easy.
Somebody should stop this bleeding. I can tell you how.
These people are so weak.
Back to Neptune's asshole, barbarians!
The Triarchus run us straight into the pirate ambush, Spearman. Allow me to execute him right here and right now. This traitor must be working with them. Don't be naive. This was no random attack. They were out for blood.
It is quite unusual for pirates to attack any ship, let alone a heavily armed Roman galley. They prefer to attack lightly defended coastal towns instead. It's less risky and more profitable.
Well, let's go talk to the man.
Geminos, you steered us into a trap.
What do you have to say for yourself?
I had nothing to do with it, I promise. They came out of nowhere.
Silence! You utter nonsense! By Mars, it is the sea! How can anyone come from nowhere?
We cannot execute a man based on no evidence. Besides, we need our Triarchus to make it safely ashore.
What do you say, kid? What do you think we should do?
We are, many of us, important people, on our way to join the action against Lesbos. Is it not conceivable that the rebels heard of us? The Kingdom of Pontus is known to sponsor pirates, to harass and weaken Rome. I do not believe we have any reason to suspect our Triarchus of colluding with them.
Very well. We shall spare his life. But remember, mercy is a luxury you will not always be able to afford.
A wise choice, my friend. Killing the Triarchus of our ship in the middle of the sea would have been inconvenient. Indeed.
Thank you. If you ever again need the help of a skilled navigator, I am at your service.
Rowers, up the tempo! And keep your eyes open. Gentlemen, Domina, welcome to Lesbos, the pearl of the Mediterranean.
An ugly nest of pirates.
An impenetrable fortress of pirates, more like. With an infinite food supply thanks to the strength of their fleet.
We shall find a way to limit this infinite supply then.
You think like an imperator, Gaius. All right, people. This is Lucullus' war camp, the heart of our operations in this territory. You have been seaborne for a long time now. I suggest you walk it off. See the things you have to see, and meet the people you have to meet. The consul waits in the command tent. Don't be too late if you don't want to see him angry. A word.
Shall I leave you alone, Domini?
Stay, Zoe. Your help might be necessary. Shifty? No. I'm trying to be discreet. I want to make sure we're on the same page. You're not here to fight. Women come and go. It is not so uncommon for officers to be visited by friends or family.
What the Canturio is trying to say is that perhaps it is wiser to keep a low profile. For the time being.
Of course.
Domina. I am hungry and my face is wind-burned, but at least both of my feet are planted on solid ground now. I would get used to my surroundings and visit the consul as soon as possible. Besides a good wine, a warm bath, and a thorough massage, not much. Thank you.
That other legion. Bit wet behind the ears, aren't they?
Everyone starts out that way.
True enough. Soon they'll be veterans too.
Or they'll be dead.
This is not going to work, as long as the rebels keep receiving supplies by sea.
We will need to cut their supply lines. It's an operation for our occulta speculatoris. By Jupiter, you are just as beautiful as your mother. This is the unique young woman I was telling you about, Thermos.
Unique, you say? Look, I understand you feel indebted to her father, but...
I don't want to hear but. You must trust me on this. She will be a great asset to my speculatoris. A trial by fire is what you need. Now pay attention. We've been in a deadlock here on Lesbos for some time now. My co-consul, Marcus Aurelius Cotta, is engaged against King Mithridates of Pontus, in the east. Mithridates is using the pirates of Lesbos as his navy.
The fortress of Mytilene here is well protected, but it also has a weakness. There's a mountain pass we can utilize. I will lead the assault myself.
I volunteer for the vanguard. If my uncle can defeat Pontus, I can surely handle Mytilene.
So be it, then. Meanwhile, you will prove yourself as a leader, my young ward. Take Caeso Quintius Acollinus, your Servus Cineros, and that gladiator who came with you on the ship. You will meet up with Julius Calidus of my legion Speculatoris. Your mission is to sneak into the harbor and destroy the enemy ships any way you can. I expect you have questions. Wait. Are those your father's old weapons? I'm sure they mean a lot to you, but look. The leather is brittle. This won't do. Visit my smith, Sextus, and get yourself properly equipped before you go. Selway, my girl, do you need anything? Pontus is a strong nation. They have conquered Colchis, Cappadocia, and Bithynia. And these conquests have made them bold. Mithridates himself is a fascinating figure. They say he has rendered himself immune to poison. We served together under Cornelius Sulla in the Social War. He was the most talented spy I've ever known. I know. You're a natural fit for the Occulta Speculatoris. If you're anything like your father, you'll even enjoy it.
Solway. Interesting. I shall accept this as a compliment, but prepare to be disappointed. To the extent of my knowledge and ability, I shall try to be as helpful as I can. Does it matter? For the sake of this discussion, let us say he was a traitor. In the end, we are triumphant and the pirates are dead. The Triarchus, if indeed he worked with them, now knows he picked the wrong side. In a war like this, allegiances are rarely about ideology. The common person wants nothing more than to be on the winning side, and we have shown Geminus that the winning side is ours. Wait. Listen, you seem trustworthy. I may have need for your help on a rather sensitive matter. That is good to hear. Keep in mind the matter I'm about to mention is rather personal in nature. Your discretion would be appreciated. I've been keeping a detailed account of our journey ever since we left port. Shortly after our arrival, however, the journal went missing. I believe it to be stolen by one of the Centuriones. I have seen a particular man walking out of my tent. As a matter of fact, I have already confronted him and he pretty much admitted his guilt. Pain comes in many forms. Physical, emotional, and let us say that some men just enjoy inflicting pain in all forms. The Centurio is called Agrippa, I think. He hangs out with his friends near the tent over there. I thought perhaps you could convince him to hand over my journal. Needless to say, I would like to keep the contents of the journal private. I would appreciate if you'd refrain from reading it.
Saw Agrippa harassing that old Serwis with the limp again.
That small-dicked bully. Did you tell the price? How long are they going to keep us here?
He won't do anything.
It's driving me crazy too. I came here to kick my 3D.
Hey, that man is going to fall out of...
Domina. To save your life, of course. She firmly believes the Witelli killed your father. Sending you here was the best course of action. Most great men of Rome have made names for themselves on campaigns like these, it is true. But you are not a man, Domina. Making a name for yourself under these duplicitous circumstances may not be the safest course of action. Dominus Lucius Licinius Lucullus was a close friend of your father's, and a supporter of your mother's efforts. He is now the closest thing you have to a father. You ought to keep this in mind.
Salwe, I am called Bestia Tabat indeed. You fight well. I noticed it.
We're in the middle of something, Domina. What do you want? This? Ah, but this is priceless. A journal written by Cotter's stupid nephew, who thinks of himself as the greatest commander history has ever seen. Why don't you send him back here to beg for it again? All right. I guess you rich kids stick together. Take it, and let's not speak of this again.
What are you doing walking around with weapons like that, girl? Well, if he said it, I guess I'm obliged to make it true. Help yourself to any of the gear on the racks. Take all of it if you need it. I have enough work on my hands right now supplying the consul's Centuriones. You'll have to bring your own materials if you want any work done. I've nothing to spare.
Solway, I see you've successfully retrieved my journal. May I ask how you managed it? What can I say? I'm not surprised. One last question before we're done. Did you read my journal? That is the most virtuous thing to do, and I expected nothing less of you. Thank you, my friend.
We might be at the wrong spot. There's no one here.
Lucullus is clearly mistaken. If there was someone here, I would know.
That's a very useful skill.
Hey! Don't move!
Calm down. I am Julius Calidus of the Occulta Speculatores of Legio Prima Italica. I presume you are my reinforcements. The only way I can think of to destroy a navy on foot is to burn it down. Some Greek fire sure would be useful for that, wouldn't you say? Conveniently, there is a whole warehouse full of it right down there. Unfortunately, the moment we move into that warehouse, they will sound the alarm. So, we should be quick. By the time anyone comes from the city, we're long gone. There's a small camp of sentries just down this hill. If we hit them first, they won't show up as reinforcements.
But then the ones inside the warehouse will hear the fighting and be ready for us.
You have touched the matter with a needle. The choice is yours, Prima.
Roman soldiers! They're here to steal the fire!
To arms! Keep them away from those jars! Mytilene depends on us!
need to be taught a lesson. Never...
Looks like the fishermen from the harbor have come to help.
Retreat!
We make a good team. Let's get our hands on that Greek fire before anyone else comes to check on this place. Be careful with those jars. The liquid inside is highly volatile. It'll make quick work of those ships. This was the easy part. Now we have to sneak into the harbor and burn the ships.
And then we have to sneak back out, one supposes.
Not necessarily, but ideally.
I think I can speak for all of us when I say that we would all like to retain our lives.